What's the best relatively cheap, under $100 or so, purchase you've ever made? I bought an old fireboat from a scrapyard for $100 years ago, ended up trading it for an amazing jet boat with a 454. I was 16 and all these years later, my $100 jet boat still lives. I used pressure washer. It's like a drug using that thing. OMG, I love using those. Also the blower backpack lawn tool thingamajig looks like the same kind of wild good time. Good pens. Pentel RSVP 0.5, 2 for $6, for writing lots of notes in lectures. Pilot G2 OGTFO. I'm not writing a single note otherwise. Movie Pass until they realized they're going to go bankrupt. Still for only $10 a month. For most people, as long as you watch one movie, it's a savings. I've had a lot of time on my hands lately and managed to watch a movie each of the past 7 days straight with it. I bought a phone charger that is more than twice my height in length by mistake, and at first I thought it was really goofy and was gonna return it, but it's actually awesome and I'm never going back to short cords. My phone charger is one of the most important items on my travels. Trying to find a wall outlet when your phone's dead can be a pain when you're constantly traveling. I spent $20 to find who liked my profile on OkCupid. That girl is now my wife. Well, that's just cost you more money. JK, congrats. $75 to the pound. Got the best dog ever. Thought this was a currency conversion rate until after the comma. My Eno hammock. Best purchase I've ever made, over or under $100. I spent $5.99 on the Mobile Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic game and I play it every single day. I miss being a kid. Spotify Premium $5 student deal. I use it every day. Definitely agree here. I love Spotify. A box of condoms to protect against child support. Good so far. You need to open the box. Bidet attachment for my toilet. Best $35 I ever spent. Life changing. I agree with getting a bidet. Used it once by accident in Korea. Apparently it's a thing there, as well as in Japan. It was shocking, but my anus never felt the same after that. Was never satisfied with just paper from that day on. Got the bidet at a bargain and pooping has never been the same ever. Easy. My Sony MDR 7506 headphones. I live in an apartment building with 59 other tenants and the walls are paper thin. I've had mine since 2012 and other than having to replace the earpads a time or two, they've held up very well. I have 2 Victorinox knives, a chef's knife and a paring knife. $40 and $7 respectively, and I got a long honing steel for another $8. I'd only ever used terrible or dull knives before. Using sharp knives and maintaining that sharpness has changed the way I cook. I'm far more confident and in control in the kitchen, and every time my boyfriend uses my knives he's jealous of how sharp they are. Looked after properly. One of those knives survived 9 months of daily abuse, cutting 400 plus loaves of bread a day at one of the subways I worked at. Then the newbie used it on the stainless steel bench out the back once and sadly no more could it effortlessly and cleanly slice through bread. So we pulled out a new $6 knife and started tracking how long that lasted. Coffee cup reheater. It keeps your hot drinks warm for people like me that often forget they're drinking it, lol. Price ranges from like $12 to $20 on Amazon. A crapload of dish towels. I decided a couple of years ago that I was going to make a conscious effort to deal with all the minor irritations in my life. First on the list was the fact that I never had a dish towel clean and to hand when I needed one. Boom. Problem solved. That tiny little frustration that I experienced multiple times a day, wiping up spills, getting something out of the oven, putting a hot tray down on a work surface, was gone immediately, so I started branching out to other things. Ever spent more than 2 minutes looking for a pair of tweezers, or a corkscrew? Well, they're cheap. Buy multiples. Have them to hand. Get that minor annoyance out of your life. Here's where someone invariably points out that I could just always make sure that I put them in the same place and solve the problem that way. But let's be real, have you never accidentally knocked something small down the side of the couch, or lent it to someone and had them not return it for ages? or even just moved on to something more important, like when you're using tweezers to pull something gross like a shard of glass out of your foot. Having multiples means that you've got a nice little buffer in case your perfect plan goes astray. Embrace the multiple. I like this concept. I did this once too with all the really small stresses in my life because I learned that a lot of small stresses can actually be more stressful than one big stressful thing. I just remember throwing away a ripped paper folder and getting a new one. I wish I could remember what else I did. It was amazing. 1. Contigo travel coffee mug. I think it was like $13 minus 15. Coffee stays hot for hours, and I stopped buying coffee at Starbucks. 2. Bluetooth speaker. $10 on Black Friday. Elevated my life in ways I couldn't even imagine. I listen to NPR while getting ready in the morning, music while showering, or a podcast while cooking. If it breaks down I will promptly repurchase it at full price. $40. 3. Spotify Premium. $10 month. Comes with Hulu. I use Spotify like 5+ hours a day. $40 Waterpik water flosser. For the first time in my life I have decent teeth. I love really nice perfumes and have a collection of many luxury scents. My boyfriend makes sweet comments about how much he loves my perfumes and that he wants to get some nice cologne, but he didn't want to spend that much money on one. So, the other day he came with me to Sephora, and I was smelling and testing perfumes. He tested out a Dior cologne, really enjoyed it, but then realized the price. I could tell he really fancied that cologne, so I bought it right then and there for him. He tells me every day how much he loves it and all the compliments he gets. It may not be as cool or interesting as other things, but my boyfriend's joy was enough to make my heart happy. Oh, that's so sweet. Write in the Rain notebook for $7 that's always in my cargo pants pocket at work. While my boss is looking everywhere for scrap wood large enough to write a list of measurements down on and take it to Home Depot, I've got a notebook in my pocket for measurements, appointments, the occasional random thought, and less serious things like character builds for video games or deck ideas for MTG. Had one go through the laundry and it's too wrinkled to write on now, but it's still legible. They definitely work. Found a 7-year-old Mastiff on Craigslist for $75. I figured I'd have her for maybe 3 years or so if I was lucky. She made it to 16. She loved people, playing in the leaves, and rolling in the grass. 100% good girl. An IUD. First time, $450. Second time $50 after insurance. Each one 99% per annum contraception for 10 years. Not suitable for all depending on individual medical history. Lol, a friend of mine is in the 0.01% which these fail group. She is married so it's not all bad, but I don't think she wants a kid at 20. Valve Software's orange box. It came with Team Fortress 2, Half-Life 2, Portal and something else, I think. Paid $35 for it and got at least 4,000 hours of playtime from it. Same, but I bought it on summer sale. I think it was $5. Noise cancelling headphones. I didn't think you could put a price on ignoring loud people, but Sennheiser did. Not debating their awesomeness, but these are way over $100. That thing you clip into your car's AC vent to hold up your phone. $30 rice cooker on sale from Amazon. Chinese takeout quality rice every time. It even steams veg and fish. Okay, maybe not the best, but a $20 plant light so I can keep real plants during the winter. There's just something refreshing about having plant life surround you during the darker months of the year. You just have to be careful if you have pets to make sure they're not toxic to them. A handheld wand scanner. It has saved me hours of work and I can carry it to where the items I need to scan are instead of taking items to my office and then back to the archives. And not everything works on a flatbed scanner. SSD. You can get up to 480 gigabytes for under £100 now, but my first was a 120 for £70. It's a complete game changer and the difference is insane. My PC now boots before my monitors are on and ready to go. Programs open in no time and run like a dream. Beware though, it makes computers with hard drives intolerably slow and frustrating to use. Toothpaste saver from Dollar Tree. I think it is easily the best purchase I have made in terms of money spent. $1, to money saved. Easily $50 with my very advanced completely winging it estimation system. You hook it to the back of the tube and roll it up as you use toothpaste. When you are done you pull it out, and there is not one glob of toothpaste left. Freaking black magic. Edge of a counter. My Hitachi. Gotta love them back massages. I got bored and bought a bass guitar once for $89. That's a pretty cool thing to buy when you're bored tbh. I bought a wool poncho off a guy from Ecuador for $50. Friend with me at the time said it was stupid. It's cool looking as heck and keeps me so warm. I've walked through blizzards in that thing and it works great. My wife gave me a music stand, less than $30, and that was 14 years ago. Before that I was always straining to play my guitar with music in my lap or on a table, etc. I am a better guitar player because of that music stand. Blackout curtains. I don't know how I ever slept without them. This summer, a fan for our bedroom. We don't have central air and the house is always muggy. For whatever reason most times if I am sitting I need a blanket on me or at least part of me, so of course that doesn't help. Got fed up of barely being able to sleep, so I bought a $50 fan from Target and it's amazing. Has all sorts of settings and really cools me down so I can actually sleep. I went to the bathroom once in middle school. There was a kid in there letting other kids kick him in the balls for $1. I know a bargain when I see it. Medicine for depression and anxiety. The best $25 a month subscription money can buy. Leatherman or Gerber multi-tool. I'll second Leatherman, but not Gerber. I've never had anything from them that I've had luck with. Not even their knives. My dog. She is napping next to me. $3. $75 adoption fee for my kitty. They say money can't buy happiness, but sometimes it does. 5 years of happiness, and hoping for many more. Bought some dill weed for $3. When I was in camp, they made noodle soup, which was essentially hot water colored yellow with some noodles with no flavor. No one really liked it but kept that feeling to themselves. The next time we went to Walmart, I bought some dill weed, and that weekend when they served the soup, 15 kids went up to me, asking for some spice. Best purchase I ever made. A $25 small space heater I bought for my first winter in Montreal. Turns out many of my apartments had insufficient insulation, or just straight up holes to the outside world through old doors, etc. So that little space heater saved my life basically every night for 5 dark and cold Montreal winters. Double curtain rods to hold 2 sets of curtains. White curtains against the window with darker ones toward the room. The way the room dims when you close both sets is orgasmic. The privacy with only the white curtains closed is perfect, and you get a wall of light without sun in your eyes. A second swing. Used so my twins could nap in them as babies. It was maybe $40, and it was worth every penny. I could not deal with newborns taking 20-minute crap naps that only overlapped by 5 minutes and then being super cranky because they didn't nap. We transitioned them to napping in cribs around 8 months, so their sleep wasn't ruined, and in the meantime, Mama had some sanity. Tsar Check aka Tsar Known Traveler. It costs $85, and you have to consent to a background check and get fingerprinted, but in exchange you get 5 years of access to the Tsar Check lane. No body scanner, no removing your shoes and belt, and you can leave your electronics in your carry-on. Plus, the line is usually a lot shorter since not many people seem to take advantage of this program. I travel a lot for work, and let me tell you, this thing changed my life. So much faster, so much easier. I was running late last week and I literally only made it to my flight in time because I got to skip the regular security line. I highly recommend it to anyone in the US who flies at least once a year. My wife and I have Tsar Check, but we never applied for or paid for it. One flight several years ago, it just showed up on our boarding passes and has been there ever since whenever we fly. Yeah, it's great. We're thankful but have no clue why we have it. $5 timer like you put on your lights when you go on vacation. I hook up my electric blanket in the winter set to turn on about an hour before I get in bed, so it is toasty warm. Then it turns off a few hours later so I don't get too warm in the night. I felt brilliant when I figured this out. it would be a good idea to check how much current is designed to go through the timer. If it's lower than what your blanket draws, you might set yourself on fire. You have been visited by the safety doggo. Subscribe and you will be safe from all danger for the next 24 hours. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day, you magnificent people.